To get further information, please refer to the EDX installation guide, specifically Chapter 6.2 Installation of Toolbox on Windows. Please note that the ECP endpoint must be running and accessible via MAQP protocol before the next steps. For installation of Toolbox on Windows Server, it's necessary to have prepared the EDX Toolbox jar file. After double-click, the user interface for installation is opened. It's necessary to set up installation type and the targeted installation path, which should be empty. If the targeted directory does not exist, it will be created. It's possible to register application as a Windows service, which will make the start of the application more simple and also to allow automated start of the service after the server startup. Default passwords can be used, but for security reasons it's recommended to set up custom ones, which can be plain, hashed or encrypted. There are several passwords which need to be set. At first for administrator and then for other technical accounts. All the defined passwords will be stored to appropriate configuration files. Now the installation is finished. In case that the EDX Toolbox is installed on the same server as the ECP endpoint, the configuration of initial ports need to be updated. Open Windows command prompt. Go to EDX Toolbox, Tomcat, bin, and use tomcat9w.exe command. When the Windows is opened, go to Java tab and update all the numbers of ports to some that differ from numbers of ports of ECP endpoint. Click on Apply and then OK. Before starting the application, the configuration needs to be updated. Go to EDX Toolbox folder and open edx.properties. Fill out all the necessary parameters. At first, the component code of Toolbox, which is the same as for its endpoint and code for the existing EDX service catalog. Because the EDX Toolbox is installed on the same server as the ECP endpoint, the internal broker.amqp.port has to be changed, for example, to number 6672. The keystore.jks will be replaced by the one from ECP endpoint due to the use of MAQPS, and therefore the keystore out alias need to be changed on both places to the ECP module out. It's also needed to configure the EDX user for access of ECP endpoint internal broker. in case ECP endpoint is configured with secured MAQPS broker. In EDX.properties, get or update the credentials for ecpbroker.auth.user and ecpbroker.auth.password. Save the file. After that, go to ECP folder and in users.properties, define the new Toolbox user and password corresponding with credentials from EDX.properties. Save the file. Open groups.properties of ECP endpoint and assign this new user to users group. Save the file. Go to ECP endpoint folder and copy the auth-keystore.jks to the folder of EDX Toolbox. Delete the original keystore.jks and rename the new one. This is needed due to the use of MAQPS protocol. The start of the application can be performed. The application is registered as a Windows service under the name EDX Toolbox. Therefore, it can be started directly from service. Now it's possible to open the graphical user interface via web browser. The URL contains of the HTTPS, your server IP, and 9443 port. The loading process can take a few seconds. When the page is successfully loaded, it's possible to log in with defined credentials, for example admin and set password. As we can see, the installation has been successful and it's possible to display the messages screen of the Toolbox. The version of EDX application is 1.9.0. The Toolbox is prepared.